Welcome back to the lab. Kris Krug is with us. He's a Vancouver fashion and editorial photographer and founded the photography studio Static Photography. It's great to have you back, Kris. He also is president of a company called Bryght, B-R-Y-G-H-T. Now, are you a web designer as well? Is that how you got into this?
My background is in web development and web design.
Yeah, I guess it makes sense if you're a photographer that you could kind of get into graphic arts and web design as well.
Yeah, I went the other way around. I was into design and unhappy using other people's photos, so started shooting my own.
Oh, interesting. Oh, that makes sense, yeah. So tell us a little bit about Bryght. Why did you start Bryght?
Bryght was founded in 2004 as Drupal, this open source content management system, really started to take off. So a lot of the core members of the Drupal community came together and formed Bryght.
Oh, that's neat. Well, we talk a lot about Drupal on this show. In fact, I think we talk more about Drupal than any other television show ever does. Maybe we should explain a little bit what Drupal is. It's an engine that can run a website, basically.
Pretty much. So you have something like WordPress, which powers blogs. This Drupal powers community. So it allows people, it's the bits and pieces, the components to make a community website. So someone can create a user account and a profile, add photos and images to their account, share those, connect with friends inside of a community, do things like that. So
people no longer just code their websites in HTML.
Oh no, you would never be able to keep up. You would never be able to keep up.
Yeah, especially if it's a community where your readers are contributing content.
That's right.
What are you going to make them do their HTML? No, you can't do that.
A lot of our customers are folks who want to take the features of things like MySpace or the features of Facebook and bring that back onto their own domain. So we do work with bands and record labels who they want each one of their band sites to have fans who come create profiles there, upload camera phone photos from shows the night before and stuff like that.
We use Drupal for the lab's site, so you can see an example of Drupal at thelabwithleo.com. I use it for my Twit site, twit.tv. It's a very powerful, great engine. Tell me some of the community features that Drupal allows you. You can do a blog with it.
All the Web 2.0 stuff that you hear about all the time you can do in Drupal. So it supports podcasting, video blogging. It has integration. Right now they're working on a Facebook application so you can suck data out of your Drupal community site and stick it up on your Facebook account. Forums. All sorts of.
Why would somebody use or create? I mean, why not use Facebook? If you're a band, why not use something like MySpace?
Well, you definitely should use Facebook. There's already a community there happening, but you want to bring that traffic back onto your own.
Have your own site.
You want to have a place where you can have a store, and where these big record labels who we're working with, like Warner Brother Records and Rhino Records, they want to have strong brand presence.
That makes sense. So show me some sites that you've done.
Well, I have up here on the site. We launched this last week. This is dead.net. So
for the Grateful Dead.
For Rhino Records and the Grateful Dead.
Wow, that's
a huge community of people who are very interested in their music.
Beautiful, look at that.
And they can go here. It's got really neat features. Shows are a type of content within the system, so a user can go to a show and indicate that he was at it. Other users can go to a show and say, what other members of the online community that I'm a part of were also at this show?
So you can have a discussion around an event.
Oh yeah,
not even just something that's online.
That's right, and not just a discussion, but you can actually add.
Sometimes people say Drupal is ugly, but I have to say, when you look at this doesn't look ugly at all.
Here's an example of a random show I pulled up, August 18th, 1991, at the Shoreline Amphitheater. Yeah, you can rate the show.
List.
Here's the set list right down here.
Comments.
These are photos that fans have contributed from the show there. We're not online, I guess, here.
Oh, rats.
Add comments and stuff to the show.
Once again, we're having a little trouble with our net access. Well, show us the pages you've already loaded. I get it now. So you created a piece of content, which in this case is merely a pointer to a show.
That's right.
And then people can add photos. They can comment on it.
These are profiles of other members of this community who were at the show.
Oh, I could see how this would be great for the
Search all the shows by song name. If you have a favorite song, Broken Down Palace, you want to see where it was performed, you can see all the different shows.
Well, that's the other thing is it may be organized around shows, but you could look at it in other ways too. You could say, what shows did they play this song at?
Yep, or what shows was a particular user at. If you have a friend who want to see lots of shows, you can see.
Fun. So when the Dead came to you or Rhino came to you, did they already know they wanted Drupal? Is that why they came to Bryght?
They knew they wanted online community, and they know that the most accessible way to get there was through Drupal.
Somebody had told them, Drupal, you ought to do Drupal.
I mean, it's pretty well respected within the community. There's a lot of record labels using it right now. It's a really kind of low-cost way to bring powerful community features to your website.
Now, you also do hosted Drupal, right?
Yeah, that's right.
So people don't have to have their own server.
Exactly. Right. I've been talking about some of the bigger projects we work on, but one of the neat things that we've done is we have a a Drupal hosted service. Essentially, you can come to Bright.com and put in your email address and your username. It will create an instance of a Drupal site that we host. So without any technical knowledge,
free?
It's $20 a month. It's a free trial.
$20 a month.
It's $20 a month.
And you get all of those Drupal features without having to know anything about programming.
Without having to know anything. If you can like send an email through Gmail, you essentially use forms and a submit button, you can build a website. You can immediately go in and start adding content, adding users.
Do you give them a lot of templates to start with?
Yeah, Drupal has lots of templates that have been contributed to the open source community, and we run probably 15 of those on our site. So
bryght.com if people want to go there. And I've recommended this a number of times. It's funny, before we even met, I knew about Bright because I've recommended it to people on my shows for if somebody's looking for a way to start a really rich community site for I think a very affordable price.
It's the fastest on-ramp into the Drupal world is our hosted service.
I think it is, yeah. I run my own Drupal server, and I can tell you, just better to let them do it. It's not that hard. Drupal's great, but it does take some a little skill to get working perfectly. More of your calls coming up. Kris Krug is president of bryght.com and also a founder of Static Photography, and you can see his work on Flickr, in Business Week, Wired Magazine, JPEG Magazine, and a whole lot more. So thanks for joining us. Come back again. We'll talk some more. I think this is a fascinating subject. More of your calls coming up in just a little bit. Don't you go anywhere else.